topic about Specialty Coffee Association, right? So it's a Specialty Coffee Association. You know these notes, but every one of you guys, you do have these notes for Specialty Coffee Association, right? So you should take yours before when you are watching this video, so you can go through everything the way that I am. So, what is Specialty Coffee Association? Right, that's the first question here. Here are the answers. Group of coffee professionals joined in creating productive coffee standards from to barista seat to cup. So these are the group of people, right? So this group of people, they joined forces because before, how the coffee was being made, everyone was making the coffee in their own standard, in their own way. Do you understand? So which is this group of people, they say they have to create a certain standard that everyone around the world, they should follow this standard to create a perfect cup of coffee. Do you understand? So which is these guys, they did seed to cup. So which is when I said seed to cup, meaning that they went to the farms first and make sure that how they should be planting their coffee trees and how they should look after the coffee trees. So it's actually totally different from the way that they were planting it before. You understand? In a specialty way, it means that they have to take care of everything, like extra taking care of everything, just to make sure that everything goes very well. You understand? So that is seed to cup. Do you understand? They have to make sure that everything is being made in a very standard way, right? Up until it gets to the cup. So from planting, it needs to be specialty farms, and then they need to be specialty distributors, specialty coffee roasting companies, and specialty coffee shops. Do you understand? So all of these things has to be specialty. They have to be checked by a specialty coffee association. You will see the place. You see other companies. They are written. Is it SCA? This is SCA. S. SCA is SCA. Yes, SCA. It's SCA. So most of companies is written that SCA. That means they are Specialty Coffee Association. They are following those guidelines for Specialty Coffee Association. All right. Um, Going to okay, City Cup. They create standard from planting coffee trees, harvesting, processing, roasting coffee, grinding, and extracting it. Do you understand? So this is exactly the same thing I just explained to you guys now. So from everything, all those extracting it, you see now there is no longer espresso only. There's V60, there's Chemex, there's Aeropress, there's all of those kind of stuff. So which is those things, they have a different grind size. Do you understand? So those grind size, they are giving a different taste. Do you understand? They are giving a different taste. So which is everyone have a different palates. You understand? Some people, they like coffee that is very hot, extra hot. Some people, they like coffee that is mild. Some people, they like the coffee that is light. You understand? Not so hot, not so strong. You understand? So which is these different ways of making these coffees. These they will also deliver the flavors of the coffee, but at the same time satisfy your needs for your palate. Right. So and then now we go making sure the quality of coffee product according to variety. Okay, so that all of that thing, it has to make sure that that quality of the coffee, it matches to the variety. Remember, when you are buying coffee beans, let's say you are buying this bag of coffee beans. Let's say this bag is Ethiopian Yegechefe, right? If this bag of coffee beans is Ethiopian Yegechefe and you are buying it, it's going to have a writing on it that states that this coffee variety is Bourbon. You understand? And the altitude is 2,500 feet, or it is 5,000 feet. Do you understand? So, which is if it's written those things, and then you should know that if the altitude is 5,000, that means the altitude is this and this and this and this. According to Specialty Coffee Association, it tells you about the altitude and how when the altitude is high and when the altitude is lower. Do you understand? So it actually explains to you about all of those things. So you should understand your coffee bean, how it's supposed to taste according to the variety of it. All right, we're gonna go through the variety things also in here. Specialty coffee is a coffee that is graded above 80 cupping score. Do you understand? So when they say it is graded above 80 cupping score, so now your coffee is going to be graded. So how the coffee is being graded, it is graded from when it comes from methods. When it comes from methods like processing, all those processing, right? So which is, there's a dry process, there's a wet process. When it comes from those processes, there are coffee beans that are rotten. Some of them they are moldy. Some of them they are fading, they are broken, all those kind of stuff. So which is, you have to remove those ones, those defected coffees. You have to remove them outside, and then you only select the good coffee, which is, that is a specialty coffee association. So which is, if your coffee has those defects in it, that is not a specialty coffee. It is what? Commercial coffee. Right, it is a commercial coffee if it has all those defects, so they didn't look after it that well. It is a commercial coffee, which is, it's an affordable coffee for everyone, and then it's below 80% cupping score. That is below 80% cupping score. If it doesn't have those defects, it's above 80% cupping score. Do you understand? That means it is above 80% cupping score. It is a specialty coffee association coffee. All right. So coffee is scored on. So this coffee is scored on broken coffee beans. You're gonna see this on your notes as well. Broken coffee beans. So that's how the coffee they score it. You understand? They check those broken coffee beans. Oh, this one is broken. They take it and put it aside, right? And then another one, defect coffee. So the defect coffee, this coffee is like this. So they throw it on the side. Moldy, everyone knows the moldy. So it's moldy. Whatever thing. So underripped, that is a coffee that is underdeveloped. I can be correct in a coffee, but it was harvested. It's underripped. Insect damage. When it's insect damage, that means it has been eaten by the worms, by the birds. You understand? So now it damage again. I say coffee, right? You understand? So you need to look after. They are looking after those things, and then they separate those coffee beans. They put them on the side, and then they take the good ones and they put them separately as well. Do you understand? That's how they score the Specialty Coffee Association. And then after that, they have to go and do a tasting scoreboard. So after all of that thing, they still have to do a tasting score point. So they have to do the cupping the coffee. And then after, when they do the cupping of the coffee, that's when they will determine the coffee that they are drinking from there, if it matches with the altitude and with the variety of that coffee, before they even take the coffee to the coffee roasting companies. Do you understand? They score it before, and then after they score it, when they find whatever they find in there, they give it a score. Probably they give it 80% or 85% or 90%, according to what they find in that coffee. And then the more it gets more cupping score, then the more expensive it gets. You understand? Because it means that it have a great quality, right? So balance between sweet. Okay, so when you are doing a cupping, when you are cupping it, right, to make a cupping point, you don't actually you don't concentrate into sweetness or chocolatey or vanilla or whatever, blah blah blah. You don't focus on any of those things. What you are focusing into is a balanceness. The balanceness between sweetness, sour, and bitter. It has to balance. So if it doesn't balance, that means there is something lacking in it. All right. So it has to balance between all of those things: sweetness, bitter, and sour. Right, so it needs to balance all the time. Aroma, body, yes, all of those things. If you check down there is a defect green beans removal. So this is where you are removing your green beans. Do you understand? Green beans, you'll see that on your notes as well. Probably maybe I'll put it in the screen. The first one, it says normal coffee, so that is a just pure normal coffee. Then it goes to the second one, insect damage. Do you understand? Those ones that it is eaten by worms, by whatever. Water damage. So the water damage is those ones when you put them into that fermentation, when you are doing that process of maybe wet process or dry process, right? So when you're doing that process, those ones that they are water damaged or damaged by the water, so they stay longer into the water, and then whatever they got damaged, so those ones you take them, you put them on the side. And then unhealed, those ones they are opening from inside, like ezixobukayo. You say ukuxobuka, it's like ezixobukayo ngaphakathi, like from the facials. Do you understand? And then you go the shell one, it says ezixobukile. Like those ones, you already the outer look of the bean itself is already out. So there's nothing inside. It's empty inside. So there's no bean. There's no flavors. There's nothing in it. So it's only the outer look of the coffee bean that is there. The moldiness, the moldy ones, those ones after you do all that after you do that all that method, wet method, dry method, then you put them in a sunny place, and then you find them they're a little bit more dead inside a little bit. They get black things from that are there inside. That means that the coffee bean is not so good. It is moldy, right? So floating ones are those ones when you floating ones are those ones that are lightweight. They have no density in them. So those ones, they have no density because they have nothing inside. Do you understand? They don't have density because they have nothing to give. They are very light. Do you understand? All the fruitiness that was supposed to be inside, close by the thistles, they are not there. So hence the fact that they are floating on top. Do you understand? The coffee with density is supposed to go under the water, not on top of the water. Right? Immature. So immature are those coffees that you see when they are harvesting the beans, they're supposed to do with hand picking, right? But then now there's machines that does the harvesting. So when that machine harvests, it takes every bean, even the matured one and unmatured one, which is the green ones also, it takes everything that is a cherry from the tree, right? So that coffee, that one is not matured yet, but still it has to go through the process of removing all those cherries out and all this other stuff, and then you'll find them into the beans. When you mix all the beans together, you find those ones that are not matured yet. Do you understand? So you remove those ones also, you put them on the side as well. All right, sour. So sourness, sour coffee, black coffee, you find all of those. You find black beans that you can see when you look at them, you're like, no, these beans, they don't look like I can roast them out into anything. You just take them and put them aside. Faded ones, so those ones who look like faded, they don't look like sharp, they don't look like the normal coffee beans. Broken beans, fermented. So fermented are those ones that they stayed longer inside that drum. When you are doing a fermentation, right? Fermentation, when you are removing the cherries, and then want to take out the beans. So that fermentation process. So those ones will stick inside that fermentation process for a bit longer, and then they extracted everything that was there, which is all that gases that were inside that, which is more like alcohol gases. When you put those things, when you open that fermentation thing, it smells like an alcohol, right? So like a fruit, when you flute a fruit, whatever thing, it becomes alcohol. So it's same like that. So dead coffee. The dead coffee are those coffees that they have nothing. They have nothing to keep. No fruit. They have nothing in it. It's like empty coffee in it. Right. And then if you check down there, there's fruit for the first one. So which is the fruit is the cherry. So it shows you all the steps that you are going through in this specialty coffee association. So fruit, that's the cherries. Green coffee beans. Now the fruit is being taken out, and then the beans are out. Green coffee beans. And then after the green coffee bean, that's something that most of people, they don't do. Most of roasting places, they don't do. Taking out the defect green coffee beans. Removing all those ones that you see they are rotten, these things, you remove them before you roast it. You understand? After removing the beans out and the cherries out, there are those beans that are rotten. You remove them before you roast the beans. Do you understand? Before you roast the beans, you remove them first. Roasted beans again, you will find others, because through the process of heating your beans, you are heating your beans, right, with the airflow, with the drum heat and all this kind of stuff. Through that process of heating those beans, you will find other beans that they're gonna be like they're gonna be overcooked inside, maybe because they were under, or maybe because their density is a bit more smaller. You understand? They have a smaller density, so which is they mix inside the beans. Maybe they underdeveloped the others, so you find a defect, you find a broken beans through that whole process there. So you have to remove those ones after roasting. So which is you remove before you roast, and then you remove after you roast the beans. That is Specialty Coffee Association, because now you're selling expensive coffee. You have to look after that coffee all the time, right? So a defect coffee, and then you do the packaging after that. Then you're done with the first step of Specialty Coffee Association. And then we go to page 2.